I feel like this must be in a porno or something.
Welcome to Fish Finders!
That's what
Episode 2.
That's what Rock sounds like when he catches that big fish.
Hey! We finally made it through the intro and it's still filming. This is a miracle. So, thank y'all for joining us.
We've been doing this for an hour.
I'm Rocky Roden, and I've got a co-host here with us. Ultra instinct, guys, when it comes to fishing. We got Christopher Register with us.
Woo! I'm in the house. I'm in the shop.
He's one of the fishermen I know.
Nah,
he's one of the best fishermen I know.
Yeah,
I just busted his balls.
I can put you on the fish. I don't catch them all the time, but I'm good
awesome.
at putting you on them.
Alright, so you know what we're here to do. We're here to have fun, and we're going to talk about fishing. So, first thing up, we got a segment, and y'all know what it is.
Will they land it?
Will they land it? So, here we go. Well, let me find it. And we're going to be talking about the top 10 strongest fish today. So, here's a guideline of kind of who we're going to be into the running.
We'll talk about that later.
Well, just bring up the options. Just talk about the options while I'm bringing this up.
All right. So we got a top 10 here. Now this is Rocky's top 10. I'm not gonna have them in order right now, but we'll be talking about largemouth, muskie, drum, northern pike, catfish, stripe, salmon, alligator gar, bowfin, tiger trout. Never heard about that one, so I'm interested about that one.
It's a mutant.
And there's a few more.
All right. Well, thank you. So here we go. Will they land at number 2?
Relax. Oh my God! You're an idiot.
That was a 10-pounder.
What were you doing?
That was a 10-pounder. You should have grabbed.
Right.
1, 2.
So look at that. Right as it boom, it busts on the top right as it hits the water.
I think he's got it.
saw that.
All right.
Unreal.
He's got the dad pants
Unreal.
on. Okay, I bet he's got
Unreal.
white tennis shoes.
It's
If
a
he has white
jumper.
tennis
Unreal,
shoes,
man.
he's landing this fish.
This one's going in
Don't
a
get caught in
bucket.
those weeds, buddy.
For
Please.
sure. This
Don't
fish is
get caught
going
in
on
those
ice.
weeds.
Not in the weeds.
Oh, his black
Don't get
shoes.
hooked on the weeds.
He's got it.
You rolled on it.
He's fighting it good. That's a nice boat.
I'm wearing the same
You
shorts
just have
today.
one.
Look at that tattoo. That is nice. The
You
fish.
hit it
He
like
knows
a whale.
real
Oh, look at this. Easy peasy.
What happened, dude?
He just misnetted it, you know.
I mean, what kind of... It was right there, dude.
There's my 6
Yeah.
pounder.
See, guys,
You don't deserve that fish after that net job.
you can buy the boat. You can buy the equipment. But whenever you fumble the bag, guess what? You don't catch fish.
Rolled on it.
Yeah.
As soon as I
Yeah,
casted,
you lost it.
you'll probably see it on the
All right, so he didn't get that
I
one
was
right.
wrong.
Point for me, guys.
God.
1-0.
He didn't have the white tennis
Here we
shoes
go.
on. So
He's hooked up.
actually...
He's hooked up.
Touching your drag.
Yeah,
It's
white
net,
tennis shoes.
All right, check it out.
Ooh, this one's
Yeah.
goofy.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he was jigging straight
Right,
on the
Christian
bottom.
the-
Are they both hooked up?
No, he's getting his
He's
line
just getting
out
out of the
water.
way.
Yeah.
I think as a team,
on,
they're
man.
already looking good. I'm going
Oh,
with
my
they're
camera
going.
fell over. Oh, that's a good size.
Might be right.
That's a big boy. Come on.
Net. That's the key, guys. If
Yeah.
there's a fish on,
This is like-
get the net. You never know if it's going to be a big one.
Yeah.
I just know that's what me and Rock did. If someone's catching a fish, we're bringing our shit in.
Oh, 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 oh,
Get
no.
ready to land some fish. Put the
Oh,
fish
thank God for
on.
Mountain Dew, guys.
Big
I'm
Joey.
on the Mr. Pibb today.
Look at that,
We're
though.
highlighting
Mater.
Mountain
Come
Dew
on,
lime
step
wire
back up
today.
again. This is why you don't invite me fishing, bro.
Hopefully soon we'll have
That was a big
some
fish.
more color.
Ooh, it's a big
Come on,
fish.
pick up. Let's go. Let's get another one. That really hurts, man. Like, really. Bring it in, bro.
Oh, really?
At the net again.
I missed everything.
Let me just
Go
take
play
back.
it again.
I'll just take it back to where he's missing it. But see right there,
Oh, it's huge.
when it's at the right at the boat and you're about to net it, that's the time the pressure's really on. You have to concentrate. You get one stab at that fish. Don't
He
be-
didn't stab until it was gone.
I know, but he didn't concentrate to know when to. You need to
Yeah, I know.
focus. The net is more important than fighting it on the rod and reel. So having that key friend there, it's very important on monster trophy fish. Now If we're talking about other fish, you can, boat flip them. This is that one that reminds me of my
I'm
grandpa.
wrong twice.
This one reminds me of my grandpa. So what happened was old grandpa done hooked up a fish and passed the rod on like a good old man.
Tiny pole in this
You
big
can't beat
fish.
that. This is the beauty of life.
Back up. You got him? Oh yeah.
Got
Look
a
at
slab
there.
on. Oh yeah.
Ready to take pictures, Daddy?
Look at that.
Okay, come on down here. Oh, look at the size of that boy.
I might need
Come on down here.
Look
Come
at
on down
that.
here.
He done gave up a 7-pounder,
Daddy's trying to get a picture.
That's a grandpa of the year.
Yeah, dude.
You can't get off. You got him.
I'd still be moving a little quicker, Grandpa.
We'll bring him up.
You bring him
I'm
up.
trying to lose this fish. I hope it's good luck. Don't bring him up.
Look at that rod!
Don't bring him up. Oh, what are we doing?
goodness.
Oh God, y'all are
50
lucky.
pound line.
It's go-
Oh my goodness.
that's
Look at the
just.
size of that boy.
Yeah, in the 80s.
Here,
it was
come hold him up,
50
Ray.
pounds.
That's Roger, your grandpa.
Yeah, that reminds me.
Yeah.
And then listen. Here, wrap it around your hands.
Just keep rolling it. Just keep rolling it.
All right, here we go.
Pause it. Pause it. Pause it.
Boom.
Pause it.
All right, we got another kid. This,
Hold on. Shout out to Rocky's grandpa. I remember him, and he would make the best fishing rods you've ever seen. The most colorful fishing rods. One day, Rocky, do you have any more of them left?
yeah, I've got a few.
One day we'll have to show the
I
world.
got one of the lures in the case back there, but it's just one of his black ones, so it didn't have all the
He
color
made
he
some-
was.
Unique fishing rods. That's what I like to say. So we'll get back to this, but
Yeah, I don't know if they caught
that-
fish because back then we weren't catching fish.
But y'all look cool.
Yeah, we tried hard. All right, so
Custom.
this kid's got one, and he's young. So what are you thinking?
I hope he's got beginner's luck like the other kid.
All right. Shout out, Dad.
I don't like his stance though.
This is
I don't like
awesome.
his stance.
That's a big
Tristan.
fish.
Whoa!
Missed the.
Tristan, that's a
Jump.
big boy. Keep reeling it in.
Oh, look at this
Reel it.
thing. I can see
Reel it. Keep reeling.
He ain't caught it yet.
Oh my gosh, Tristan caught a monster. Oh my god.
No, Dad, you go get the net.
Tristan, go get the net.
Dad,
go
you
run
go
and
get
get the
the
net. Go run and get the net.
All right,
Tristan
hold
just
on.
caught a
that red?
monster.
Yeah,
Tristan
use the
just.
saltwater. All right, this one's pretty easy. This is me in Russia.
This setup is epic.
This is Russian Rocky. Okay, guys.
Russian Rocky. Yeah.
I've been in this position so many times.
No.
Like, why can't these rods hold up to my hook, sir?
Every time we go fishing.
Dude, that's happened to me so many times, guys. So I saw that one. I was like, Chris is gonna get a kick out of that.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was will they land it?
But I like that setup. On
Chris
my
won
dock.
today. Yeah, he
I
was
didn't
trying
win.
hard.
I lost all of them.
Well, how do I win points?
Well, I guess
oh,
no.
when you get them
No, I
wrong,
guess-
right points.
I guess I got a couple of them right. I got the kids right.
Right, paper, scissors, see what? Right, paper, scissors, shoot. Right, paper, scissors, shoot.
We got one more.
You
2 out of 3.
Oh, okay, I got this. Damn, son.
That felt good.
All right. So, what do you want to get into? The top 10, or do you want to get into what was the other one I had? I have Don't Rock the Boat. It's a new segment where we are messing up boats, guys.
No, let's hold off on that. We'll
Alright.
get into something a little serious.
All right.
All right. You want to get your list here?
Okay, guys, y'all already heard the fish.
Some of the fish, not all the fish.
So, oh, you didn't go through all of them?
I didn't go. I think I left out a couple.
Okay, so we've got, this is top 10 strongest fish,
I think you should go to put them in order, man. Your order,
top 10 strongest freshwater fish in North America. So just
according to Rocky Road.
according to Fish Finders.
Fish finders.
Okay, so you want me to do the top 10?
Yeah, do it in your top 10.
All right, where's the paper? Here we
what you
go,
had.
guys.
All right.
Drum roll. Number 10, we got smallmouth bass. Smallmouth bass coming
Smallmouth
in.
bass.
A smallmouth bass. All right, so smallmouth
Bass
bass
to mouth.
is similar to largemouth bass when it comes to fighting, but smallmouth bass also commonly live in areas where heavier river currents which add to the battle. Smallmouth bass in the 5 to 6 pound range are common in bodies of waters like the Great Lakes, and they can grow even larger in key areas of these lakes. But down south they grow real good. The power of the smallmouth bass makes it a hard kicking, and it has bursts of speeds throughout the battle. And if if you're fighting in currents, it can be a great one. The dirty tricks that a smallmouth bass can pull is they constantly jumping off the with attempts to toss your lure, so they do the head shake. They will also try to head for roots, branches, and other obstacles and snag, and they pull unlike any other fish. So that's a smallmouth bass, and it came in at number 10.
Caught my first smallmouth this year up in Arkansas on the Buffalo River, and it felt good. Only caught one.
She's a purty one. I saw a picture of her, and she ain't looking.
She wasn't big, but
she ain't
she
grown
was
up.
a fish.
But soon, 5 years.
Felt good to
5 years.
I didn't buy that license for nothing.
No, that's true, and take the trip.
Yeah.
So
You ever get an opportunity, go to the Buffalo River. I highly recommend it in Arkansas. It's in the Ozarks, and check out the smallmouth fish in there. Rock, have you ever caught any smallmouth?
Yeah, I've caught up in South Dakota, and they pull like the only reason I put them on the list is because I've caught them. They don't get that big. You know, most of the fish on this list are going to be massive. They're going to be 50-plusers. But a smallmouth pulls ungodly for its size. When I caught a couple 5-pounders up there,
Yeah.
and I thought they were northern pikes, I was like, oh. And then they started taking drag, and I was like, nah, this ain't no northern pike. The
Dang.
northern pike's going to be up jumping.
Okay.
Just digging, under the boat. 5-pounder, dude. You would have asked me mid-fight, I would have told you that a 20, 25-pounder, you know, a mountable northern pike.
Yeah.
They pull incredible.
Do they have walleye up there?
Mad respect. Yeah,
Did you catch any?
they don't make the list, guys.
They don't. Did you catch any?
Yeah, I caught an 8-pounder.
I heard they got good. I heard they taste good.
Yeah,
That's the reason they didn't catch them.
It's like a giant crappie. They taste better than crappie. I'll give it to them. Yeah, man. They live down like out of the sun, so the meat's like incredible white, and their eyes like
Huge.
shine. They're huge, but they have like a glow to them because they have like nocturnal eye type
Okay.
things going on.
We need to go ice fishing.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later. Continue. Sorry.
So what's number 9?
Number 9, the blue catfish. Here we go. Catfish are without a doubt one of the hardest fighting fish on this list. They surpass muskie in the sheer power category and are only rivaled by sturgeon. While they will chase down and eat prey, catfish typically hunt at the bottoms of rivers, lakes, and reservoirs that they inhabit. Size depends on the species of catfish. We can't really give an overall size for all species, so let's take a look at the largest species in North America, the blue catfish. The blue catfish has an average length of 24 to 46 inches, but they do have the potential of reaching 65 inches in length and 150 pounds in weight. Power catfish have long tails, fins, anal fin that gives them a ton of power when swimming, and one of the best fighting fish. They will take you to a serious ride, and if the fish is big enough, you will struggle to gain line on them early in the fight. Dirty tricks. Due to being hooked near the bottom and typically being fished around heavy cover or deep river holes, there are always a risk of getting snagged on the submerged trees, logs, and roots. Due to the potential for snagging being high, it is important to keep pressure on the fish if possible. Though due to their power and size, we'll typically have to let them peel some line and loosen your drag. Excuse me. My best catfish story reminds me of here recently. It was probably a year or two ago. It was on Lay Lake, and I caught a channel cat. It was around close to 10 pounds at my in-laws' place on the lake, and I was just sitting out on the dock at night with a set pole, and
You did good in Lay Lake, man. I haven't caught big catfish, and you showed me some pictures of them in Lay Lake. You were slamming some
got a couple of
whoppers.
slabs.
Yeah.
But the thing about it was unusual for me catching the catfish is it was a 10-pounder, and it jumped like 3 or 4 times like a tarpon and walked on top of the water, and you don't get that with catfish that often, so that was a highlight of my catfish.
Yeah, that fish was confused of what it was.
That catfish that I caught there at Utah with you here recently, I guess that's my biggest catfish here in the past year, and that felt really good.
Now, flatheads have a crazy power because they have, like, you know how like short people have gravity to keep them, they're stocky. The flatheads have that power to shovel that nose, and they can get that current to go above them. And it's incredible to fight a flathead because you have to break that wheel first before they'll start to come to you. But I haven't caught a giant one. That's our goal, guys. We're going to start getting on some of these bigger fish, and we live in the perfect state for it. We live in Alabama, so we can find the time and a little bit. We'll make it happen.
We'll have to travel for this next one, but we definitely got to catch
Oh
one.
yeah, I'm glad I get to talk about this one. It's the peacock bass, number 8. Peacock bass, an invasive species. This thing is not natural here, so it's got an asterisk next to it, guys. So, peacock bass. The peacock bass. The peacock bass actually isn't a bass at all, but a chillid. And it is
A cichlid. This motherfucker said a chillid. He should have asked me what that word was before you started.
Guys, it starts with a C.
Chillid, man, bro. This is a chillid, man.
Peacock bass.
That's the biggest chillid I ever seen.
Peacock bass are known for being very powerful, with everything in the book to come unhooked,
I spit this motherfucker fucking everywhere.
including shooting into the air like a missile.
Man, you
Making
see how
them-
many chillers he had in his aquarium, man? Sorry, man. I'm sorry. That
One
was
of the
too
hardest
much.
fighting fish pound for pound, no doubt. The peacock bass can reach 29 pounds. God! 29 pounds, that's ridiculous. 3.5 inches. 3.5.
God damn, dude.
You got me laughing. I can't read, bro. I can't read as it is, and then you got me laughing. Anyways, due to their anatomy, the peacock bass is capable of putting up a serious fight. And by swimming sideways while fighting, wow, I didn't know that. Swimming sideways while it's fighting, the anglers, it's like fighting an Arnold Schwarzenegger version of a largemouth bass. Peacock bass live in mangroves, jungle rivers in South America, but we got them invading Florida. So that's how they made the list. On top of getting snagged, peacock bass will jump out of the water and do massive head shakes in an attempt to rid themselves of your lure. Their tenacity towards getting themselves on hooks makes them one of the hardest fighting fish, which puts them securely as number 8. That echoed. That was
Sweet.
awesome.
Peacock bass, I've only known one guy to catch peacock bass. My uncle had a buddy that went down to South America to catch them back before, got really popular, and they became invasive here in America. And he had some trophies on his wall.
See, the ones here are not quite that big yet.
Yeah, he had some decent size ones. It wasn't like a 20-pounder or anything like that. He also dove for Indian artifacts and like fossils in South Florida.
Oh, in Florida.
Or not South Florida, but I guess the Central Florida or something like that.
So, like,
in springs and creeks and stuff like that.
you can find like Spanish treasure and stuff.
Yeah, well, the main thing he was finding is like really cool fossils, like mastodon teeth, and he had like a display case of all kinds. He had arrowheads of all shapes and sorts.
We found a bunch of arrowheads up in Colorado. That was cool.
You did?
And petrified wood.
For real?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What?
up in the desert part of Colorado.
With your dad or something?
Deer Trail. When we went up there.
With your grandma's place.
We found so much petrified wood, dude. We couldn't carry it back in like pottery, like old pieces of pottery. and stuff.
What?
Yeah, dude, it was wild.
Is this somewhere your dad took you that he went as a kid or something? Or?
And it was the desert, like the desert part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was like an old motorcycle there my uncle was trying to get. Like, you know, bring back the
Uh-huh.
we in Colorado. You trying to bring this back to Alabama?
All right, what number we at?
7.
7. Okay. 7 is the king salmon.
7.
That's on my list. I think it. See, that's what I was calling it Chinook salmon.
I know, that's what I was trying to. I couldn't remember what that was earlier, but
So
yeah.
it's the same thing. Okay.
Well, one that made it to the saltwater and one stayed in the freshwater.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. King salmon, also known as a Chinook salmon. Maybe I'm pronouncing that one wrong. I don't know. Someone let us know. Maybe it's like cichlid and chicklid or what the fuck ever you said. Have a reputation of being one of the hardest fighting fish out there. If you're trolling for them, they will wear your arms out, and if you're fishing for them in a river setting, they can really test your fish fighting skills. Size, most fish, size depends on their habitat they live in, but most king salmon live in big bodies of both saltwater and freshwater, full of forage, and have the ability to grow in large sizes. Adult fish typically range from 26 to 36 inches, but can caught far over that length. King salmon can reach anywhere from 10 to 50 pounds in weight, and as well with large adults in the 20 to 30 pound range, not uncommon. Wow. Carson's my wife's uncle lives in Alaska, and I believe that's what he was telling me that I need to come fish for was the king salmon, or some type of salmon, I believe.
And there's a reason they got the nickname King, because they are the kings.
I remember as a kid, I'd get the Boys Life magazine, and a guy caught one, and it was on the cover, and that's always stuck in my head whenever I think about king salmon, or the Chinook salmon. Chinook. I don't know, Chinook. We need to figure out the pronunciation of that, Rocky.
I've always heard
I'm
it
not
as Chinook.
butchering it.
Chinook.
Chinook.
That's how I've always heard
I
it.
don't know.
Chinook.
Okay, king salmon have some serious endurance and can fight relentlessly for long periods of time. This endurance only compounds strain on your arms, which winching them in while trolling and in the river fishing situation, with the addition of current and potential snags, it can be akin to hand-to-hand combat. Damn. Dirty tricks. When it comes to trolling situation, it's pretty much just a battle of endurance and strength. But in rivers, the dangers are the same as will any large river fish. Snags and currents are your major enemies when fishing the king salmon from a river.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I would love to experience that one of these days.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll check that off the list
So
eventually.
what we got next? Number 6?
We already talked about that.
So pretty much number 6 I put on there, and we were talking earlier, flathead catfish. You know, they've got the actual body type to actually stick to that floor, and you've got to actually break them and to get them to come up. And plus they have all the other characteristics of that blue catfish. And they've got much bigger mouths, and they can eat probably 3 times their mouth size. I've seen them eat giant shad. It's incredible. And it seems like if you'll put a brim down there, they'll go straight forward. So if y'all ever have, some extra little brim, and there's flatheads in that area, definitely put those brim on for them flathead, and they will come. You will have action. So, all right. Since we already talked about that one, I'll skip to the next one. What
Yeah,
is
tiger is a tiger.
Tiger trout?
That's
The
one
tiger
I
trout.
don't know about. I don't know anything about a tiger
So
trout.
this is really cool. So I was looking it up.
Show me a picture of
And
a tiger trout if you can. Is that possible?
But while I was looking it up, I was like, well, I would like to know the world record, because you got to take into size how big the fish can get, whether it's going to make that list. That's where we were having problems with that smallmouth bass but they're on enough lists out there. If y'all check the top 10 list, that smallmouth they should be on it. So anyways, what I was talking about earlier, the world record was broken here recently. So I was trying to find, confirmation of it, what is it? So the world record is 27.42 pounds. And let's see. And it was actually caught by a woman, which is, that's awesome, guys. So everybody can catch a world record. You just have to have your lure in the water. So what this is a hybrid and a result of a cross between a female brown trout and a male brook trout. The tiger trout's furious fighting and aggressive disposition puts them on top of many anglers' lists of the hardest fighting fish. Most trout fight hard, but tiger trout take it to a whole new level. Hook into a 20-inch tiger and you'll know that it's a battle. The acrobatics, real smoking runs, vicious head shakes, landing one of these beauties nothing short of a suspense-filled thrill. Whew, picture that one. But no, that's what it is. So tiger trout, and I'm pretty sure that one was kind of made in the lab and then introduced out into the wild. But it's good to have you a part of those species, 'cause they don't seem to be, taking over places and eating more than they should, and taking over these river systems. So the next one we've got is after the tiger trout. What happened to the sheet?
Sorry, man. I had to let the wife know where I was. Here you go.
Oh, you get a good one. You get the muskie.
Alright. The muskie has legendary status of being arguably the largest fighting fish in fresh water. They can grow to large size and have razor sharp teeth. As anyone who has been muskie fishing knows, they can be extremely challenging to catch. The fish of 1,000 cast, 10,000 cast, whatever it is. Size,
Kobe.
yeah, that didn't work. The average size of a muskie depends on the body of water, but fish over 4 feet in length are not uncommon today. On many bodies of water in the fall, muskie stack on a ton of weight in preparation for the winter and can surpass 40 pounds in weight for large specimens. The world record muskie is disputed, as it was caught in the 50s and the record keeping on the fish wasn't great. It is also argued by photos that it is not as big as it claimed. That being said, the record stands at 69 pounds 11 ounces, and this massive fish had the length of 5 foot 3 inches and was caught in the famous Chippewa flowage in northwestern Wisconsin. The power of the fish obviously depends on the size, and moderate sized fish are known for being very scrappy and can put on quite the aerobatic show too. Large fish over 4 foot, considered a trophy muskie, can also put on some aerobatics, but they can also choose to dive deep if they are hooked in deep water, and sometimes it may feel like you hook a log until a massive head shake starts. Dirty tricks. Muskie will attempt a number of things to unhook themselves, and with 90% of all muskie being released after being caught, most fish will know the game, and older fish in particular has probably been caught and released several times in its life. They will try everything from diving deep into weed beds, entangling you in the weeds, rushing the boat, and creating slackline, heading for heavy timber or current, or simply repeating jumping in the air in an attempt to throw the lure. Yeah, that's always been a dream of mine, to catch one of those.
And I had one snap my line when I was fishing for the smallmouth.
Oh, damn.
So I was up there, and so I caught those 2 5-pounders in previous trips. I'm like, dude, there's smallmouth in this lake. I'm gonna come back actually for them. So I went and bought a bunch of swim baits and brought 8 10-pound tests, brought my spinning reels. So yeah, I got into them. I don't know if I caught anything too big, but I've caught quite a few smallmouth. So I was reeling one in. It's probably like a pound and a half. It's coming in, but they dive. Even a pound and a half one's gonna pull drag for a minute. I'm pulling drag, and he's coming on up. Well, I guess the muskie was like under the boat or something. Because when I'm bringing it to it, the muskie just comes in and snaps. And he's like, zzz, snap. Because it was like 8-pound test.
Dang.
But its head, man, it was. And they got like a big broad. It's not like the guard on it. It's big and broad.
Yeah.
Oh man, it looked like an alligator.
That reminds me. Just make a mental note of this, but a buddy of mine was fishing over on Lake Edens in Mississippi, and I don't even know, you don't know anything about Lake Edens, but it's supposed to be this real famous lake for bass fishing in Mississippi, and he said that him and his buddy had a every bit of a 10 plus swoop at a fish that they were pulling in. So it missed it, but they said easily 10, plus.
What?
Largemouth.
Oh, well, trying to eat his bass?
His bass
That's
that he was
crazy.
bringing in. Yeah.
That's crazy. That's how that happens at Lake Livingston all the time. Not with bass.
I think he said Lake Edmonds has got 30 fish, 10 plus, been caught this year.
That ain't bad for Mississippi.
Yeah. Shit, that's good for anywhere, dude. 10 plus?
Might be some old countryman in Alabama that got some secrets.
Yeah, he's a countryman from Alabama. He's going to Mississippi to catch these motherfuckers.
You got me there. But hell, what did I say?
We gotta go to Lake Edmonds.
No, but at Lake Livingston, all the time there'd be women out there with the bobbers and the cane poles, and they'd hook them brim. They'd be catching brim all day, little and big ones. And almost every weekend we would go out there. One of them would
catch a
catch.
chin pounder.
Yeah, a mounter.
Yeah.
Just
Cane
woo,
pole.
woo, the whole damn lake looking, man. It was wild.
Yeah.
So next one. Da-da-da-da-da. Ooh, I get to do number 3, which is alligator gar. Yeah, it seems like it should be higher, but it's not on my list. So, alligator gar, they are notorious difficult to catch with delicate bites. You gotta
I didn't know
finesse them.
that.
Yeah, they really. Oh yeah, man. Like any gar, you got.
I know gar's hard to hook, but I know it's a delicate.
Oh,
bite.
they're gonna taste it. They're gonna sit there and taste it barely, and then if it tastes good enough, they're gonna go a little farther.
I got you.
They're gonna really test it.
Yeah.
All right, delicate bites, bony mouths, which makes it almost impossible to penetrate, and of course the risk of bite-offs during the fight, so their teeth hit it. So gar run, they have tail walks, they head shake until they have nothing left. Some big gar bulldog as they dive deep. This is especially true for alligator gar, better known for just brute force than agility. The world record, IGFA world record, is 279 pounds. Landed in the Rio Grande River in Texas, December 2nd, 1951, which might have been broken, so we pull that list up. Double check on that. What are we talking about on the alligator gar? Is it 279 pounds? Because I feel like it's been broken in Alabama damn near, or in like the Mobile Delta.
The only one on here is a long nose. It doesn't have a alligator on this list.
Oh, Rocky, you did good.
You did good. Yeah.
All right.
We'll cross that bridge later. Let's go.
Write in on the comments. All right, so number 2, striped bass. I'm not gonna say it no more. It's my favorite fish.
There we go. Then I'm gonna let you do it, man. If it's your favorite fish.
It made number 2.
Yeah.
And it could have made number 1 if number 1 wasn't just ungodly a dinosaur. And you put those two together, it's not happening. So stripers are pound for pound one of the nastiest bruisers and arguably the most fun bass species to fight. Depending on the weight of your line, striped bass tend to immediately run with the bait. Will quickly tap the line and hit hard and then pull up long runs before tiring out and giving up. Their initial hit on a plug can sometimes be an explosion. And since they seek cover and tend to drag line along boulders, you won't be picky with your gear, so you want to bump it up, because these things,
Beef it up.
they've got genes that go back to the saltwater, and that's what makes them so tough. And they don't make a lot of these freshwater lists because technically I guess they're saltwater fish, but if you live your entire life in the freshwater, then how are you a saltwater fish? Alright, but right here, so James Bermlin, he's the current world record holder, saw fish rolling near the surface, so he quickly grabbed his rod, a Shakespeare ugly stick, hooked on a 10-inch gizzard shad, and made a cast towards the surface, disturbing the fish. Right there in the middle. Fish on. It took him about 20 to 25 minutes to land the 70-pound, 47-inch river beast. And we met one of his friends when he was a guide. He brought us up there, but he had been fishing with this guy. They'd been looking for this fish. They had a name for it. I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember either.
But they've been searching for it, and this guy had to work that day. He was supposed to go fishing with his friend. And he had to work, and he ended up catching that fish. And
He left work to come see the fish.
but yeah, if
In
you
a
look,
suit and tie.
if you look in the picture, the guy with the
We'll
suit
bring
and
it
tie.
up next time.
And number one,
And I was talking shit about him, and then I met him like the next week. It was really funny. This is number one?
Yep.
Number one.
undeniable.
If you know anything about these ancient fish, it's that they can grow to huge sizes, with species like the white sturgeon and lake sturgeon with several feet in length. Their size is what makes them one of the hardest fighting fish, combined with a ton of swimming power. Size depends on the species, but the white sturgeon can reach 10 to 15 feet in length, with the longest recorded fish reaching 20 feet in length. Damn. And the largest weight recorded being 1,799 pounds. Lake sturgeon are not adornimous. What word is this, bro?
Andromedus.
Andromedus.
Oh!
He got me back. Like their white sturgeon cousins, and as a result, they don't grow quite as large. They can grow to nearly 10 feet in length and weigh as much as 250 pounds. Power. Due to their size, the weight of these fish is where most of their power comes from, but large tails and the ability to swim easily in heavy currents means that fighting these fish is akin to tug-of-war match. Dirty trick, since you will almost always fight these fish in the river. The current and other snags like roots, logs, timbers, and serious obstacles you have to contend with. Sturgeon will attempt to jump at times when hooked, but their massive size means they won't do much more than get half of their body out of the water. In many cases, when you hook a sturgeon, you might think it's a snag like a log and not a fish. It's only when you line slow starts heading upstream you realize you hooked one.
How big they get?
They get up to 1,799 pounds, 1,700 pounds.
I seen bigger.
Almost 1,800 pounds.
I seen bigger.
Shit. I know that my sturgeon story is that I actually went and visited her today. She's 101 years old. She grew up on the banks of the Cahaba River. And back in I think it was the 30s, there was a guy that caught it was a 300 or 400 pound sturgeon in the Cahaba River.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And back then, the sturgeon used to migrate up, into the.
No locks and dams.
Yeah, and would be able to migrate.
Wow.
She said that she remembers cod coming up and also shrimp.
Hey, I'm not gonna deny
They
it.
come all the way to Centerville, Alabama.
A lot of stuff can happen in 90 years.
Yeah, and what was wild is I saw this article online about this guy catching this fish, and an old news article clipping of it, a picture of it. And when I went and brought it up to her, she was like, "Oh, yeah, it was old John, whatever." I don't recall his name, but she recalled his name right off the bat, and then proceeds to go to her filing cabinet and pulls out a Xerox copy that she had made of the actual article.
Wow.
Years and years and years ago.
Local legend.
And it was like a really old photocopy, and she was like, she had multiple photocopies. She's like, "Here you go, you can just have you a copy of this."
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can find it online.
Yeah, next
eventually.
episode, guys. Stay tuned.
Maybe we'll try to bring that up.
So let's just do a recap right now. So the top 10 strongest freshwater fish in North America, the Fish Finders volume. Number 10 was smallmouth bass. Number 9 was a blue catfish. Number 8 was a peacock bass. Number 7 is a king salmon. Number 6 is a flathead catfish. Number 5 was a tiger trout. Number 4 is a muskie. Number 3 is an alligator gar. Number 2 is a striped bass. Number 1 was the Goliath sturgeon. Thank y'all. Alright, we got one more segment. And it is Don't Rock the Boat. Let me pull that up, but I got you a joke.
Alright.
Where do fish go to get their haircut?
Where?
The Barber Shop.
That was a good one.
Hey, got him. Hey. All right. Why are fish so smart?
Why?
Because they live in school. Got him twice. All right, here we go. Don't rock the boat, guys.
Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat, don't tip the boat over. Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby.
All right, here we go. Check it out.
my
It's
goodness.
having to pass the whole.
Oh!
Let me
Bro,
replay
that was
it.
almost an arm, dude.
Get out of there. Woo!
You should have just rolled with it.
Woo!
Just another example of dumbasses at the boat landing. Here's his truck.
He left it
There's the
parked.
trailer.
I saw a guy
Nobody
do the same
anywhere
thing the
near.
other day online.
You see that boat flying out across the lake down there? That's him.
Can you believe this shit?
He just left his boat and trailer.
He just left it in the water. He's like, I'm good to go.
Locked in the entire boat ramp.
Daddy didn't teach me right.
Is that across the lake?
That's incredible. And left his window down. Oh,
Even
you a
if he-
brave soul
That's where
in
I'll
Alabama.
take his front seat.
He's
Stuff like that just pisses
gonna
me
take a dump in his front seat.
Give him an upper decker. Dude.
Yeah, dog.
Yes.
Bump it. I know that was on.
Dude, they just bent the hell out of that trailer.
This is a woman. This is a woman driving. I was watching it. This is a woman. You see me rolling. You hate it.
It's done, dude.
Woo! You looking at the sun. You're looking at
Make it
the.
out.
All right, hold on. I put this one on for you, man, because I was like, hell, we've been flying Brim wrong.
We'll see.
I'm back with another one here. We still cleaning these perks here. I'm gonna show you two methods of how you clean these some guns right here. What I like to do, I cut right down his head, right there, to the gill right there. Right there behind the fin right there. Once you get right here, don't cut all the way down. All you gotta do is pop them over right there, just like that. Put your finger back in that little sack right there. That's gonna be clean right there. And look, God almighty, boy, that dang clean. Some people cut the fins off. You can leave them on. They would give it a little extra crunch. Now your second method.
Cause I was wondering one
you
time, I
got
didn't
your
have a knife. I was like,
Take that some bitch right
how
there.
you
You
gonna
want to
clean
hold them right
these
here behind the gill plate, right?
I didn't think of this.
You ain't got a knife, but you got teeth. So you
I never thought of this.
You ever thought of this?
No. Shit's easy.
slide that some bitch off there like
I
that.
can do 50 Brim in damn 10 minutes.
Now once you might get a couple guts and a little shit in your mouth. You just gotta wipe it out.
Just
Spit
spit
it
on
out
that.
there, some bitch.
That's
You
quality.
see that some bitch right there?
Oh, that was Kiki there.
I had to end it on that. I just found it at the end. I just thought this is going on the podcast. But yeah, so that was our episode. We're gonna leave y'all today. What are you thinking? Bill dance or we got weights? You hadn't seen weights and fish yet, have you?
No, I had.
Oh yeah. All
Oh
right.
no, I saw that. I saw it.
We got weights and fish.
Let's do it again.
Which one? Or the Bill dance?
Weights and fish.
All right. Well, thank y'all again.
Way to big fish.
Thank y'all for coming.
Our
See
current
y'all next week.
We sure
team of
appreciate
the
it.
year race
It's
leaders.
fun.
Our second place, Fat
Fishing
Five
is the future.
team. Second place, Fat Five. Weighing in a big fish.
What's that say? Cheaters don't
790.
deserve it.
Weighing in a big fish. 790. Locking it in. 790. Weighing in 5.
We got weights and
I
fish.
gotta tell you, you gotta
She
be.
didn't have to announce out that y'all can see this is a walleye turtle. I swear to God it don't go like this every time. We ain't gotta cut your fucking fish up.
3391, your new leaders, locking it in, team of the year. We need pictures of those fish over here, stick around a while. We need pictures of those fish over here, stick around a while. We need pictures of those fish. We need pictures of those fish. We need pictures of those fish over here, stick around a while.
If I can't teach you one way, I'll teach you another. But I'm gonna get the job done. You get crossways to me and you'll think a thousand of
Contents the bottom line.